Meredith, Nina, it's great to finally get to meet you guys.
It's great to meet you as well. Cable, how are you doing?
Oh, it's
Yeah,
a
I'm glad we could
beautiful
finally
day.
make this happen. It's been a while.
Yeah. Okay, first of all, how do you guys know each other?
We
So,
met in Georgia at the Field and Stream All Ladies Turkey Hunt. Meredith,
Oh,
you want to piggyback?
yeah, that's how we met. I mean, I had seen her on Instagram prior to that, but we met about midnight the night before that we were supposed to hunt together.
oh wow.
Yeah, so we were like, "Oh, hey, nice to see you."
Yeah.
It was good to have a minute to chat before it was game time.
Uh-huh. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit about both of you guys, obviously, during our conversation. But what was this Field and Stream turkey hunt? What's going on there?
So it was an all women's event where all of these ladies, whether they hunted or not, they were from all walks of life, different ages, different experience levels. We all came together for this amazing camp where we all got to hang out and turkey hunt and learn about each other. Meredith and myself and our camera girl Chelsea, we didn't get to do so much hanging out. We're kind of stuck in the
Yeah.
woods most of the time.
You guys were
Um,
what?
we were stuck in the woods most of
Oh,
the time.
yeah.
Because when I met Meredith the night before, I found out that this crazy lady was going to be hunting longbeards with a longbow, and not only with longbow, with a guillotine broadhead. And, and I thought I was gonna come around and call in birds for girls and just jump around and put them on some shotgun blasted turkeys, but I was in for a treat.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah, I have never shot a turkey with a bow. Uh, Mostly 12 gauge. Makes it a little easier.
Oh, for
12
sure.
gauge, 20 gauge, 410, even a
Yeah.
recurve Meredith would be great, but I think I applaud her for taking on this challenge and sticking to it.
Hey, it's
So, did a
fun.
turkey's head get lopped off or not?
Not yet. We've scared a few of them.
Oh,
It's been a learning process, that's for sure.
uh-huh.
The amount of birds that we could have killed with a shotgun, or at least even being able to move and make a plan to cut them off, it was in the double digits. But
Yeah.
she has to have this bird in like so close, like tight quarters, and everything has to go completely right for it to happen. But we're gonna make it happen one day, I think.
So, is there anywhere left that like turkey season is even open?
There are actually a few places that go into June. I know when I went to Utah to go turkey hunting, it was open then, and I know that Pennsylvania, I think, is still open. There's
Hmm.
plenty of places that start from like Florida and Texas, and I think Hawaii opened up first in about February, March timeframe, and then there's some states that go all the way up through June or beginning of June.
Hmm. Okay, so Meredith, have you killed one with your trad bow before?
No, I have not. So I started a couple years ago trying to I took a shot at one with my broadhead, just a regular broadhead. And when I took the shot, I kind of became disoriented on, where his vitals were. And I thought about it and I was like, man, if I got to have him that close, why not just try to go for the head and neck? Because at least I know where I'm aiming if I got to have him that close, anyways.
Hmm.
And so this was my first year trying to really, hone down on that and just see if I couldn't make it happen. And equipment wise, a lot of things that I'm learning through, these trials and errors and, trying to figure out if I'm even shooting enough poundage to make this happen because my, feet per second is definitely not that of a compound hunter. And I might end up having to actually increase my poundage on my bow to try to bring this together. But yeah, there's so many things you're figuring out. How much movement you can get away with, how many people you can get away with having with you. Good
Not
God.
much and not many. I mean, not with a turkey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we had an opportunity. What did I have? It was five of us. We got four cameras, five people, and
Oh
I got a
wow.
shot off on a bird. I mean, sometimes the end result isn't actually killing a bird. It's just all the stuff you learn in between.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, it's hard enough to shoot them with the compound. The only videos you see of people bow hunting turkeys is they're deer hunting them out of a pop-up line. Yeah, I mean, like it's very difficult to spot and stalk one, or even be sitting on the ground in the open, or up against a tree, whatever. But there's just so much movement involved with pick your bow. Even harder with the trad bow, of course. But I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't really like deer hunting turkeys, so I like to get out and chase them and play the game. Nina's shaking her head in disgust with deer hunting turkeys, I
Here.
guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
You know,
yeah, yeah.
I joke because it's like, yeah, people say, we like to run and gun, we want to chase them down. And I said, well, I call mine to stay and pray. You
Yeah.
just set up and you just pray that it works out.
Yeah. So did you guys have a pop-up?
We
were
actually
using the
had
Newcomb blinds.
yeah, so what Meredith was saying is we were using Newcomb blinds, like NUKE, like Newcomb.
Uh-huh.
And they're kind of pop-up blinds. They're very portable, and they kind of fold into this triangle with two windows, and you can put two of them together, and that's kind of what we had. They have brush-in loops. They're very easy to fold up and make a move instead of a giant pop-up blind. But we had one on the camera girl. We had two in front of Meredith, and then we had two more, and everybody was able to carry their own blinds and everything. It was pretty comfortable, actually. We brought some turkey chairs for the ride.
Nice. Nice. Okay. And you guys started in Georgia, but then when we were trying to make this happen a couple weeks ago, you guys were in Oklahoma.
Yes.
So the journey continued from Georgia to Oklahoma.
Continues. It wouldn't have been any fun if we'd have killed them outright the first time.
Yeah.
Ain't
Well,
that the truth?
we created such a good bond through the Georgia turkey hunt, and we wanted to see Meredith succeed so badly that I thought it'd be a great idea to invite her to Oklahoma, where I was guiding turkeys that season. I had kept some farms untouched for her, and these birds were crazy. They were awesome. We saw some amazing things, but we just couldn't quite make it happen. But I would say that if y'all like turkey hunting, or if you have a daughter and watch the Field and Stream Georgia turkeys hunt, and then there is a follow-up with the Oklahoma hunt that will be coming out for Father's Day. So y'all will be able to see both of those hunts unfold right on the Field and Stream YouTube channel.
Awesome. Okay. Very cool. So how long have you been guiding turkeys?
Let's see. Officially, I've been guiding turkeys 2.5 years. However, I started turkey hunting probably 2018. And the first 3 times that I ever went, I was too afraid to take my hand off my little pot call and pick up my gun because the turkey was right in front of us. So I let the other person shoot. My daddy had given me a little pot call when I was little, and I'd be like yelping and, irritating everybody in the household. And he taught me rifle deer hunting because I have 4 other siblings, and, he just didn't have time, but he did everything outdoors. So when I went out my first time, I was texting him. I was like, Daddy, this is what happened. What do I do? How do I do this? And he would just kind of walk me through it over text message. And I called in birds for 3 different people before I ever killed my first bird. And I used that little pot call. Finally, I was like, I can't deal with this anymore. So I couldn't use a diaphragm yet. So I used my natural voice to call in my first bird. And then I've guided several females and actually grown adults since then, just every now and then, buddy hunts. But I've taken them to do that. And then I really honed in on my skills the last 2.5 years as a turkey hunting guide and, worldwide hunting guide. But turkeys are my favorite.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. Yeah, I'm obsessed with it. Archery elk hunting is probably my favorite, but turkey is, I don't know. You don't. There's years where you don't get a tag for elk, but you can always go turkey hunting. So
Right.
Absolutely.
yeah.
And if you don't get a tag for your state, you can find another state to do it. I'll start down in Florida and just travel up the states and I did my single season Grand Slam one year, my single season World Slam. I have a connection to figure out turkey hunting just about anywhere. If anybody's interested in learning or going, I love to teach and take women and children hunting.
So it's so weird because I came across you on a video. It's a viral video of you. Yep, there it is. I think was that your parents' house or something, and you're doing like a fly
Yeah.
down and doing the whole charade, acting like you're a gobbler, but you're mouth calling. Yeah.
Yes, I was mouth calling. I'm actually better with my Meredith can probably attest to this. I'm better with my mouth call than my slate or my diaphragm or anything.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
she's good. She really is.
Okay, so give us a demo here.
All right. Well, I think I really took to mouth calling through singing and matching sounds. So on my really long drives, I would get really bored and just start playing turkey videos and start matching the sound. And I actually learned from Bo Brooks on a diaphragm how to gobble and do all that. So I kind of took that and then watching David Ellis, they call him Yacht Yacht. And I would
Hmm.
take that yacht and it'd be like yacht, yacht, yacht. And then I'd bring it higher and then I'd bring it to the back of my throat. So I'll demonstrate. So I'd be like, that's how I started to learn. I'd be like, yacht, 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 yacht.
Awesome. Okay. And now, were you gobbling too in that video?
I don't remember if I was gobbling or not, but I definitely know I forgot the spitting and drumming. So I feel like there's a remake in the near
Okay.
future.
Right on. All right. So Meredith, when did this trad bow obsession begin for you?
Well, I mean, trad was all I ever shot, right? So when I was little, my dad had me and both my brothers just shooting trad in the backyard. And then he had them hunting with trad equipment when they were teens. And so, of course, I started it. And I was kind of fiddling with it when I was like 15 or so, but I wasn't fully, like, full blown as obsessed as I am now simply because, I was so into soccer and went to college, then I went to PT school, and then I did travel PT for a while. So I was always somewhere different and I could never really hone in, you know what I mean?
Mm.
And then once I finally moved home and I started having some success with it, that was when it was eating me up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these bucks on your wall behind you, you've shot those with your longbow?
Yeah. So this is my 2015. That's my recurve kill. And then that's a longbow. And then that's my longbow. Yeah. And those are all longbows, but that's my recurve kill there.
Well, I mean, I gotta admire your persistence because a lot of people will say, "Oh, I'm only going to hunt with this," and then when it doesn't work out, they're like, "Give me the shotgun." Like
Yeah. And, you
Nina's
know,
raising her hand. I'm right there with Nina.
Guilty.
Yeah.
yeah. But the thing is, I think for me, it helps me in that I've never shot compounds. So it's like I don't really know what I'm missing, right? It's like this is how I was raised. This is what I love. This is where I get joy. Of course, I've killed some bucks with a shotgun, but just the feeling and how gratifying and how rewarding it is. It's just for me, it's worth the wait. Like, I don't know. I'd rather be persistent. And with this turkey hunt thing, I've had so many people on me. Like, you go a whole season, you don't even kill a bird, and you've had this many birds, at 20, 30 yards. Like, you could have easily killed them with the shotgun. And like, I've had a lot of pressure from people, trying to push me that way, but I have to like ground myself and remind myself, like, I'm not doing this to post turkeys on Instagram for everybody to see. I'm doing this because this is what makes me happy and this is how I want to do it. And when it
Hmm.
finally comes together, that's going to be the most rewarding thing for me. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Exactly. And Meredith, I applaud you for that. And I definitely want you to make sure that this happens. And you can't, if you're going to pick up a shotgun or a compound bow or something every time when you're trying to obtain a goal, you're never going to get that goal. So I would say, keep that longbow and that guillotine in your hand till you get it done. Get one under your belt, and then I'll show you the fun way to hunt turkeys.
Hey, I did take a shotgun with me the last day of the season with my longbow just in case. This
Okay.
last day, I did. I will admit that. But
All right.
yeah, I don't know. It's how I've always done it. It's what makes me happy. So that's what I stick with.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to stay true to yourself. I have found though, in my hunting career, it doesn't do. I'm fortunate, and I'm sure you guys are too. You get to trade out hunts with people, but they're banking on something getting shot, right? I mean, it doesn't really do them any good if they invite you out and then we're like, yeah, we watched the sun come up and we had a buck at 100 yards, but we were bow hunting, So I feel like there's a little bit of pressure there, and you hate to say like something has to die, but at the end of the day, it's better for me and it's better for them if something dies, so
Yeah, I
there's
mean, that's
times.
always the thing, but there's also advantages to it too. Like this last hunt in Oklahoma, like, yeah, nothing died, but the amount of time that we spent with them birds and, hen coming in and hissing at our decoys, the experiences that we had, we would have never had if we'd have just blasted the bird at 20, 30 yards.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So you learn so much more because you're forced to spend that time there and watch these animals, and, you're forced to learn more about them, really.
Mm-hmm.
110%. It was a target-rich environment out there. We saw so many things that we wouldn't have seen. We saw so many different coyotes. We saw a male and a female pair. We saw hogs. We saw really nice deer that didn't care to wind us, which was very weird because the wind was blowing right at them and they're sniffing our decoy. We saw that hissing hen that she's talking about. We had a hen come all the way up to our decoy and fan her wings out and like hiss at the decoy and
And I'll
actually
tell you, she was 5 yards. Our camera girl went, "Huh," and she jumped. And we all busted out laughing. It was so funny.
Yeah.
It was really cool. We saw so many different things. We heard a million gobbles. It was really rewarding, and I think that with this situation where Meredith and I weren't doing a trade. She's my friend and I wanted to see her succeed. So it's not that pressure on her, and she's always going and hunting out on her own. So where you're saying you're doing trades and all of that stuff, and you do have that pressure, like if you were to go to an outfit and pay for a 3 or 4 day hunt, yeah, there's more pressure on that. But we really didn't pressure her to feel like she needed to do anything at all. And I think that that's what really helped with this endeavor that she wants to do. And I'm sure that if she only had 3 days somewhere else where she was either paying for a hunt or herself or trading a hunt, that maybe she would feel more pressured to tag out, but it wasn't like that. We wanted her to be successful, and we needed her to be in the right mindset.
But you're not, I mean, you're not wrong to say that. I mean, of course, I'm sitting there thinking and I turned around. I missed a Jake. Basically I shaved his neck. And I turned around and I looked at them and I was so frustrated because I'm like, I know how much hard work y'all are putting into this to make this happen for me. And then when I don't bring it together, of course, it makes me feel like absolute crap. And honestly, that's a lot of the reason why I don't hunt with other people, because I know that the success rate hunting the way that I hunt is not super high, and I hate letting other people down.
Yeah.
But when I'm by myself and I screw up, it's okay. It's just me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you're with
sure.
other people, then it's like, daggone, like it's hard knowing how much they're putting into it and then it doesn't come together. So that's why, I'm pretty particular who I hunt with, and they were just the best. I mean, they just made me feel like, hey, what you're trying to do is hard. It's not going to come together the first time. Give yourself some grace. And I was very fortunate that I had them, just being patient with me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people mess up on deer with their recurves, their compounds, or whatever. You're picking
Rifles.
People,
Yeah.
we had people mess up on deer with we had so many shotgun misses on turkeys this year. I mean, Meredith, you were picking hands down one of the hardest, if not the hardest. Well, I think throwing a spear at a neck of a turkey would probably be a little bit harder, but they're pretty much on the same level for me. She's taking a big log. It's so big to hide, a longbow with a stick with a helicopter blade on the end of it, and it literally looks like you're throwing a blade of grass at a bird's head, and that's how it flies.
So you have to
really
wait
hard.
till they're facing away from you, basically?
No, you just got to move slowly.
I was just thinking, would they see that? Because obviously you're not going to be flinging something with the FPS of like a compound bow. So would a turkey with their eyesight see that arrow coming at them and duck? I don't know.
I mean, they can, yeah. So even though I'm only shooting, between 6 and 10 yards, my feet per second is so slow. It's probably half of that of a compound, right? So yes, they can get a lot of movement off between the time that I release and it actually gets to them. Mm-hmm. And we struggled with that a little bit as well. But I don't know. I think for me, it's like, yeah, the end goal, of course, is to kill the bird, but also the end goal too is that it's real. It's real life. Because the reality of it isn't, hey, we go out and we kill every time. It's not real. And I don't feel like there's enough on TV or there's enough out there where people show how difficult and how real it actually is. You know, a lot of times it's a fairy tale ending. In most shows, something dies, like you said. So I think that's another kind of goal for us too, is that it doesn't always go the way you want it to go. And that's part of the learning process, you know?
And
But
that's relatable. More people go hunting and they're not successful than they are. Everything has to go perfect for it to come together. And sure, you're watching all these YouTube videos and TV shows where they get this animal on shot, and then they, after the shot's over, they're doing all this B-roll and stuff. I mean, that's just not exactly real. And we love keeping it raw and showing you the journey and the time in the woods, what you learn in the woods, what you see. Sometimes things don't happen the way you want to. Sometimes you miss. Sometimes you wound an animal and it rips your soul in part in two. But we just really wanted to make sure to show people like, hey, just because we're doing this filmed doesn't mean that every single time we go out, all the stars align.
Oh yeah, I think I got spoiled elk hunting, like backcountry DIY. I killed an elk 3 years in a row, and I haven't killed one in like 5 years. And it was like, I was like, oh, this is so not easy, but I can do this every year. No, no, I've wounded two. I've missed one. Didn't take a shot one year. I mean, it's the way it goes. So,
yeah. Well,
but yeah, you don't see that on most hunting shows.
Yeah, you really don't. But you know, we're learning so much about the equipment too. And I had put those guillotines on the front of my Fred Eichlers, and those beast guillotines that I bought, they came with like the Bomar shaft itself, and I wasn't using that. And I was here hunting in Virginia by myself or with a friend of mine, and I shot one and I hit it in the neck, and you hear the guy yell. He goes, "You nicked his neck! You nicked his neck!" And the bird just runs away. And you know, I listened to the audio, and it's a hard hit. It's not a nick. Like, I mean, it's a hard hit. And I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, how would I have hit it in the neck and it runs off and I can't find it, you know, because you see these videos online, these heads are coming off, you know?
Right.
And so then I got to looking at, you know, the foot per second, basically the energy that's recommended. And they're recommending you shoot 60, 65 pounds with a compound bow. I'm shooting 45 pounds with a longbow, you know? So now I'm like, I was thinking about that, and I was like, all right, so I guess I obviously need to at least shoot the Bomar shaft. That'll take me up 120 grains or so compared to what I was shooting. So it's just, like I said, it's so much learning to it. And yeah, timing is everything.
There are hunts that you can't trade out, like supply and demand. I'm going on a mountain goat hunt in BC in September, and I would never tell my wife how much I paid for that hunt. But I'll be damned if I'm taking a bow on that hunt, because I'm going on one goat hunt in my life and I'm taking a rifle, you know, like
Yeah.
there's
You take a dang bazooka to that hunt if you need to.
Yeah. If I win again, I'd have to like sell a child or something to pay for it. But
Please don't do that.
Your wife might really be upset with you then.
well, I have identical twins, so you know, we've got two of those.
You don't have a favorite. Just
One to spare.
No, I don't have a favorite.
Exactly.
So okay, Nina, you're joining us from Georgia.
I'm actually in Tennessee. I grew up in Tennessee, and I'm visiting my parents right now. So I'm joining from Tennessee. This is why I don't have all these cool animals on my wall right now. I'm in my mother's travel agent office.
Right. And Meredith is in Virginia.
In Virginia. Yes, sir.
Okay. I shot my first Eastern in Tennessee last year. It was pretty cool. But, and I've said this before, they are a little more wary than our Rios for sure. It was we were there, we hunted 3 full days, and it was a grind just to get one with a shotgun. So everyone's always said like, oh, Easterns are smarter. And I'm just like, yeah, you're full of crap. A turkey's a turkey. No, it was a different bird.
Well, and also it also depends on pressure and terrain and where you're going. And like mountain birds, I'd say mountain easterns are a little bit harder than, you know, your field and hardwood easterns. And I love their deep throaty gobble. That's my favorite. But I love Tennessee turkey hunting, but I'd say that from hardest to easiest, at least on the four subspecies in the US, would be the Osceola when they're temperamental. I mean, sure they can interact with the decoys, they can do it right, but these are temperamental birds. They call them the black tuxedo because they'll disappear. They have so many predators, so they're super wary. Them South Florida Osceolas, I'd say. Then Easterns, and then Rios, and then Miriams. Well, Miriams and Rios, it really just depends because if you have a big flocked up group of Miriams, it's a little bit more difficult. But those Rios, I'd say they're probably one of the easier ones to kill out of all of them.
I've only ever shot Easterns until going out there with you. So
I know. I want to take you to do it all.
Well, so that Osceola, that's another one where you wouldn't take a bow because, I mean, that one certainly is supply and demand. Like, if people are chasing their turkey slam, well, okay, you got to go to Florida to do it. If you go to a trade show, a hunting show, the outfitters know that, right? And this is more of like a recent over the last 15 years or so, but the price just keeps going up now. You want to pay $3,500 for a turkey? You know,
And
that's the deal.
That's a lot of that goes into the landowners knowing what they cost and what they have. So some places, before the outfitter even makes a dime, they're paying $1,500 to $2,000 a bird to the landowner. So it's just been getting more ridiculous, and you have to go just south of Orlando if you really want to get a true Osceola with the broken bars and the dark black, like the black wings and some hooks. I mean, it's getting pretty up there.
So just looking at your social media stuff, you've traveled, Nina, internationally quite a bit. I'm about to head into Africa next week for safari number 9, I think. And you've been there before.
Yes, I've gone every year for the last 3 years, and I'm going again this summer as well. We're doing a leopard dog hunt with one of our clients, and I'm really excited for that.
Oh man, that's like number 1 on my list. If you could say,
Really?
yeah, leopard. With over bait or with dogs, I don't care. I just want a leopard.
Either way, just being able to put my hands on that animal is just gonna be so cool.
But I haven't found like 40 grand laying around, so it remains a lofty goal someday.
I'll keep searching around for prices and see what we can do on.
What's the top of your bucket list?
Oh my gosh!
And are you hunting on this trip, or are you taking clients?
I'm taking clients, but I might hunt something. I've really, really been wanting to get my springbuck slam.
Okay.
So I don't know why. I just love those animals, and all the color variants are so pretty. My number one Africa hunt that I'd ever been on, and one that I would like to do again. And I haven't been on every single African animal hunt, so I haven't been on all of the big 5. I have been on Cape Buffalo and all of that, but I really love night hyena hunting.
Oh wow.
You take a fox pro out there and you just start calling, and then all of a sudden, like way off in the distance, you hear the tiniest like whoop, and you're like, oh crap. And then all of a sudden they clear the distance and they're like 60 yards in front of you, and they're louder than the fox pro that you have, just like whoop. It's so crazy. And I didn't even pull the trigger, and one of our clients killed this giant old mature spotted hyena, and it was just the coolest hunt I hands down have ever been on. So I'd like to do that for myself.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be awesome. I think so. I've only been to South Africa. You were probably somewhere else, huh?
I've been in Limpopo, and I've been in Polokwane and a couple other places near Botswana, and I think
all South
this year,
Africa?
all of that, or South Africa has Limpopo within it. Botswana is another country, or Botswana is across the Limpopo River. But I'm going to Zimbabwe, another country, this year for the leopard hunt, and I've been to the Kalahari Desert. So most of the places that I have hunted actually are in South Africa.
Yeah, but so where were you calling the hyenas at?
We were in Limpopo.
Okay.
We were in Limpopo for
They don't
that.
have any. I've always been on the East Cape, and so they have brown hyenas, but they're like protected. So,
they're protected over there?
Yeah.
They have different rules for every different country. That's why you have to travel to certain ones to hunt
Yeah.
certain animals. And brown hyenas are really cool. I hadn't seen one in, like up close. We saw one on the thermal that night, which is super cool. They're a little bit more wary than
Yeah.
the
They're
spotted
not like a
hyena.
pack animal either.
No,
They're
they're not.
solitary. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I saw two hyenas with my own eyes on the thermal that night when we shot the one, and I know there were more around, so it was pretty exhilarating to
Yeah.
say the least.
That's cool. And Meredith, what would be at the top of your bucket list? And have you done any international hunting?
I've never done any international hunting. Honestly, I just want to get an elk with my longbow. That's
Okay.
like, and I
Heck yeah.
have come so close.
Hmm.
It's been an adventure. Yeah. And
Miss or wounded?
no, I haven't taken the shot. I haven't taken a
Okay.
shot yet. But I had about a 300-inch bull at 4 yards, and I couldn't get turned. It was just a kind of a miscommunication between me and the caller. We were on a really steep hillside,
Yeah.
and I was thinking about, you know, the thermals, the wind direction, everything, and I was thinking he was going to come above me because I had kind of split two different paths. And the caller, he was thinking differently. He was thinking I needed the bull turned to get him, you know, closer to me. And so he cow called and the bull turned. And because the terrain was as steep as it was, all of my weight was on my back foot. And so I couldn't get, and it was super like rocky, and I couldn't get turned. And he came, oh my gosh. I mean, I was at full draw and I'm looking at his front shoulder, but he wouldn't give me vitals until he got like there, and I couldn't get turned all the way. And I mean, it was just a really unfortunate scenario, but it's been exciting. I mean, yeah.
Can you penetrate that front shoulder at 4 yards with a longbow?
I would never try that. No.
Because I shot one at 62 yards with my compound. It was 70 pounds at the time. And I did not get penetration. I got about 2 inches, and we found the arrow. And I wasn't aiming at his front shoulder. It was completely broadside.
Right.
But 60 yards is pushing my effective killing range. But I was like, he's feeding. He doesn't know I'm here. I'm going to send it. It was the last day of the hunt.
Yeah.
And, I mean, my buddy was like, dude, someone will shoot that during rifle season. Like, here's your arrow. You know, he's fine. It's going to hurt a little bit, but then, so that one sucked. But then I also shot a 6x6 in New Mexico, biggest elk I've ever shot, and we didn't find him. Hit him high, and it was just yeah. But I mean, well over probably 320, 330-inch bull. And I ranged the tree where I thought he was gonna come out. Like, we were playing a game with him for like 45 minutes, and we just kept getting closer and closer, and finally pissed him off enough. And here you could see the tips of his antlers, and I ranged the tree. It's like 40 yards. He steps in front of the tree, and I shoot him, and see like really good penetration. But my buddy's high-fiving me. I'm like, dude, I don't know. That looks a little high. And we found blood, and just never found him. Looked for.
Yeah, that's sickening. No,
that one haunts me. That one still haunts me.
I have a haunting elk story as well. I mean, with a 6x6 in Colorado with a rifle, even. It was my first elk hunt I'd ever been on. Like, I went to the Air Force Academy in my freshman year.
Thank you for your service, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for being part of my reason to serve. However, I went to the Air Force Academy, and you know, I was trying to find things to do over there, and Colorado is a really beautiful place to go hunting. And they had this club called the Outfitters Club, and I kid you not, I was the only girl in that club. In the first year. I started recruiting girls the next several years, but we went up north in Colorado for an elk hunt, not dropping a pin, but we were hunting, and all the freshmen went because we didn't have tags or anything because we weren't residents and hadn't put in for the draw. But we went to either learn, pack out elk, or you know, just help out at camp. So we did that. My buddy got an elk. I learned so much from that hunt. So then the next year I was up to bat. I put in for the draw. I got a tag. It was great. Day one, I go exactly where I thought the elk were going to go, and they came down into this bowl. And the last elk was a big bull. He was a 6x6. He had beautiful coloration on him. And Um, I had my 308 with me that my dad had gotten, or actually, that was my first purchase of my first firearm I bought myself, the
Mm-hmm.
first big girl purchase, and I shot him at 275 yards, and he dropped, and I re-racked it. I was ready to shoot him again just in case, and I saw the back of his neck for half a second. And elk can live up to 90 minutes on like a double lung shot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they can live forever. So I waited. I went down there, and there was a big pile of blood where he laid down, like bubbles in his blood. I was like, oh, perfect, perfect lung. And I started following the blood trail. Well, I guess it got clogged up by its fat, and there was no blood, but there's a perfectly laid down trail as to which direction he went. And another herd of elk came and destroyed that. I killed him, or I shot him at about 8:40 in the morning, and it took us all day, like doing a grid search in the roughest terrain, trying to find him. Finally, we get to him. I had a couple buddies come down from camp that I called in on the GPS, and we found him, and his head was cut off, and a game warden was there, and I knew it was my elk because there was my entry wound that I'd seen exactly where I'd aimed. It had the exact same coloration. It was a bull, and his head was cut off, and he wouldn't let me keep the meat. Turns out that he was 500 yards in a completely different direction than the direction that his pass had laid down. And the guys that were coming down to help me passed these two other guys that only had an elk head and no meat carrying it out.
Oh wow.
And it was a 6.56.
Uh-huh.
So that one haunted me for a long time, and I still need to get an elk redemption as well. So I think all three of us are due for
What
an elk hunt.
a-holes
We've all been
took your bull?
traumatized.
They just cut the head off and then packed my bull's head out.
And that should be illegal. Especially like on a
was.
fresh kill like that.
It was illegal, but they had passed them on the way down to help me, and they didn't know if they'd already brought the meat out or if they were following people up the mountain. It was all public land, so they had
Yeah.
no idea, but they told me that it was a 6.6. And when they didn't put it together until they found the cut off head of my bull.
Yeah. Well, yeah, why would they?
No, why would they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. And the game
was
warden was
wrong.
like sorry about you, like
They wouldn't even let me keep the meat or anything of it because we couldn't prove that it was a legal bull.
huh. Wow. That's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, I think we're all three due for a nice, good elk hunt.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the most frustrating / rewarding thing. Folks like us who are not from the mountains, people that have a trailhead, 30 minutes from their house, very lucky, and viable elk population there. I'm envious of that. That's one thing we don't have in Texas, but I wouldn't trade what our hunting culture here, and we can shoot 5 deer and 4 turkeys and feral hogs. Feral hogs all year,
Yeah.
target rich environment. But for flatlanders to go in and kill elk, it's an accomplishment. So
It's a task, that's for sure.
Yeah, even if you don't go, just going out there or if you don't kill, even you just go out there and you just sleep on the ground for 2 weeks and go to the bathroom in a hole for 2 weeks and then you're just surviving and hiking 12 to 20 miles a day. I mean, that in itself is absolutely, even if you don't kill, you feel like you've done something.
yeah. Oh, for sure. It's the most rewarding thing you can do. And you will push yourself physically and mentally. So you almost reach your breaking point. Or in some cases, guys that I've been with, my buddy that went with me recently to New Mexico 2 years ago, we had like 2 more days left. He's like, I'm done. I was like, my body is done. I was like, all right, I'll see you back in Texas because I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
And I didn't get an elk, but that's the way it goes.
I think, Meredith, it would be just so cool. And this is something that I want to do, not with any trad bows or anything, but if you tried to pursue your North American 29 with your longbow, that would be just an incredible accomplishment. Either longbow, recurve, any trad bow, even like that would be just so cool. We just gotta figure out how we'd afford that.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, you could start selling feet pics on OnlyFans.
Nobody wants to see mine, so. And I have a good relationship with my daddy and God, so.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how many people have done it with. See, just Fred has done it.
Fred has done it. We have a buddy. His name's Jake Downs, and he's doing it with a recurve. So he got his muskox last year, and then I got obsessed with muskox. I've been following his journey the whole time. You might want to talk to him. He's a cool dude. But he's doing it with his recurve, and I actually got his little daughter Alexa. I put her on her 7th and 8th turkeys. Her first Osceola, Rio, and
Nice.
her first. She killed 3 deer with me as well, with a crossbow.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah, they're a good family. But
Well,
I
so-
think, Meredith, you could do it. I think you could.
What do you
Yeah.
think about this, though? If you were going to try it, this brings up an interesting question. So it's very cost prohibitive, right? So there's that obstacle, which I mean, I'll probably never shoot one of the 4 sheep species for that reason, right?
Oh.
I keep putting in,
I know.
to the states that have, I buy my points and then I do the random draws in like New Mexico, or I hand them $3,000 and they keep it for a little while, and then until they tell me you didn't draw, and then they give me most of it back. They keep a processing fee or whatever. So I'm trying, but
No, the sheep are going to be the hardest.
I sat by a guy at a Ducks Unlimited banquet, an older guy. He was my friend's grandfather, and he has done 3 sheep slams. And he told me the first one he did in the 80s cost him under $5,000 for all 4 sheep.
Wow.
Yeah. Like,
Wow.
man, I was born in the wrong decade.
Right. How times have changed.
I wouldn't have been able to hunt if I was born during then, probably.
Well, that's true. And women are the fastest increasing segment of the hunting population of people out there. So,
Oh no, I'm so glad. I think it's really cool, Meredith, how you took an interest and wanted to go with your dad. I mean, I was my daddy's first son, so he was wanting me to go and do these things with him anyway. So for you to go to your dad and be like, hey, you're taking my brothers, I want to go too. It's really, really cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
awesome.
for me, it was like I would see my dad light up, when my brothers did something really cool. He'd come home, he'd be bragging and telling everybody, and I just remember thinking, like, daggone, I want him to be that proud of me, So honestly, the thought of harvesting an animal and having to actually take the life of an animal, that did not intrigue me at all. But I knew I had to do it if I was going to get that moment where my dad was bragging about me and not my brothers,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I gotta force myself through this. And then I absolutely just learned to love it. And then it just became completely just, organic and authentic to me. But
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
if I didn't have brothers,
for
I don't know if I would have done that.
You might have taken an interest in it later on because you're all about your health and all of that stuff. So getting your own free range deer and meals, you might have fallen into it. But some people aren't as blessed as we were to have been brought into this lifestyle. And that's why I like to use my page to help educate or teach or take women, children, veterans, even men. They'll ask me questions and they'll get into hunting and they find God there, and they find healthy food there, and they find just a love for animals and conservation and understanding and learning and knowing everything about them. So I applaud you, and I'm glad that you're in it. I'm glad that I'm in it, and I think we can really inspire more people to want to join the fight in conservation.
Mm-hmm. I do think that is the biggest obstacle for women to get into hunting is if they didn't grow up around it. Like I have identical twin daughters. They're 11. They've each killed 1 deer. So they're in the club. My son's 13 and I've lost track of how many deer he's killed. And he went to Africa with me last summer and he was just the trigger man. Like he went nuts. He shot 7 things and I shot 1. So, but I was happy about it. No, it
That's
was
so
great
sweet.
for me.
No,
Yeah,
that's sweet.
It's probably more rewarding for you to watch him do it anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
That's
But he
awesome.
was like, he knows I'm going back in a week. And like a couple months ago, he's like, "So when are we going back?" I'm like, "We aren't. I'm going back."
It's my turn.
Yeah.
My trigger finger is itchy.
And next time, I'm probably going to when I take someone else, it's going to be your sisters, not you. So you go maybe like for, graduation present or something,
Yeah, and
But
people don't understand. People don't understand the conservation aspect behind hunting Africa. I know a lot of people that aren't even interested in hunting African game until they learn about it. I mean,
mm,
once you take the price tag off of an animal, take the Cecil the lion example, or for example, Cecil the lion. He was a collared lion, and this doctor, I guess, or dentist went hunting and killed him legally, but they got scared and they tried to bury it and then the imports of lions into the states actually were banned, and that really hurt the lion population because once you took the price tag off of them, you know how hard it is to keep lions on your property and then
mm,
maintain them. They destroy everything. So then people didn't care. There's no anti-poaching efforts anymore, and it really hurts them. And then on top of that, when you're paying for animals in Africa, that's going back into conservation in so many ways. And on top of that, no part of that animal gets wasted. I mean, the people of Africa use the stomach lining, they use the bones, they use the hide, whatever you're not going to take home, that's what they're using. So for people that are anti-African game because they're pretty, you're going to hurt these animals if you try to stop the hunting of them.
mm. Yeah, well, a whitetail buck is pretty too. Why are you okay with that? It's like just because this one has spots, like it doesn't make sense to me. If it pays, it stays, regardless of if it's a buck or a bull kudu or an elephant or whatever. But
Well, and then
yeah,
they're not doing anything for conservation either. They're
oh no,
they're
no,
not
there,
sitting there. They don't have the
no,
Pittman-Robertson Act on anything other than what we're using for hunting.
no,
So,
there's
I
no
mean,
bird
sure.
watching license fee. No,
Exactly.
no, I'm gonna go hiking and eat my granola while I'm, what? Oh, well, okay. What did you pay for public lands? You're utilizing it, and I'm happy. I'm happy to foot the bill
Cool.
for you, right? I don't. That doesn't bother me. But when you come
But
after my way of life
what's
and
was
conservation,
protecting these
yeah.
animals, was keeping their habitats alive, what's
Mm-hmm.
going into the studies of them. I mean, they're
Mm-hmm.
not helping when they're trying to just take away hunting, and that's why I think getting more people into the fight for conservation is really great. And I think that one thing that Meredith had mentioned, and I think this is a great thing from the Field and Stream hunt, was dads, take your daughters hunting so you don't have to hunt your daughter. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
hunt for her. And I think that teaching children proper gun safety or handling or bows, Meredith, and what happens when you pull the trigger or release the arrow, what happens at the end of the barrel with an animal and taking a life, what that means versus the kids that play video games. I think you could really save a kid by teaching them about this circle of life, teaching them how to survive and live off the land and eat their own food. I think that you'll save a kid by taking them hunting.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And yeah, they're never going to think about as an adult how much fun they had playing video games, but they'll think about how awesome that hunting trip with dad or brothers or whatever it was.
I
Those
mean,
memories
unless they're in
will.
their mom's basement drinking Code Red Mountain Dew, still playing video games, but
Mm, yeah.
we're just not
No.
going to
You
get
just
into
think
that.
about the discipline, the confidence that it gives you as a child. I mean, mental health right now is just awful. And
Yeah.
we these kids out there learning that, instant gratification that's not real life, and you got to work for things and things don't come easy. And I feel like those are some really, really good lessons you learn, in the outdoors.
Yeah.
And I think you learn way more about animals and lessons and the bonds that you make with your dad when you're little hunting. I'm sure you have that with your kids. I mean,
Oh yeah.
these bonds last forever. Meredith's got it with her dad. I've got it with my dad. And when things get tough, it doesn't matter how old you are, your dad's going to be there for you. And I think that in addition to creating that bond with your father, your friend or whatever, like you can find community and learn to appreciate God and his creation and these animals and learn what it takes to keep them on earth and alive for years to come. I'm really appreciative for that. And Meredith and I became very close. Chelsea, Meredith, and I, we are inseparable due to hunting and working together because we genuinely, without a word, I meet these two girls that I've never talked to before, never seen before, don't know their hunting experience, and all of a sudden we're moving like a pack of wild dogs. Have you ever seen something like that? They don't they're not communicating. They're just doing what needs to be done. If somebody dropped something or something happened or we needed blinds to be set up, these girls worked until we got the job done without me having to ask them for help for anything. And it was just genuinely such a great strategic team for a group of hunting girls. I applaud them for
I do feel like, finding people you can hunt with can be very difficult. It's kind of like close friends. They say you can count your close friends on one hand a lot of times. And to find people who are so in alignment of your thought process and your values and just the way that you navigate, that can be difficult. So when you find those people, it's definitely something that, you want to hold on to. That's for sure.
I mean, I'm on a lease with us. There's 6 of us. And I like all the guys. I like to hang out with them around the campfire. There's only one dude I like to hunt with. Right. If we're going to go duck hunting or dove hunting. I like to be in camp with the other guys and like to eat dinner and do have the fire and the camaraderie. But like my actual hunting buddy is just one of those dudes,
Right.
So yeah, I mean, totally get it.
And it's like what am I trying to say here? So like growing up with my dad, if I screwed up or, if I did something wrong, he knew how badly I was going to beat myself up for it. So the last thing that he would do is say something like, you should have done this or you should have done that, or tried to make me feel bad. Honestly, he would usually laugh or say something joking or just make me laugh. And I feel like, you get some people who you hunt with them and they get so serious, it takes the joy out of it, right? Mm-hmm. And, if they don't realize how you are, like with me, I will beat myself into the ground when I screw up. And I need to be with people who know that so they don't say something to me and then I really get fired up. You know what I mean? So it's about finding those people who you really click with and who know you. And it's the aura that it brings to the hunt,
Yeah. Well, then, if you're good friends with somebody, so I think it was like my sixth safari. You mentioned your springbuck slam, Nina. I was after a black springbuck. I had a white and a common. Still need the copper. I don't have that one yet. But we are chasing this big herd of springbuck around. And we've seen other herds, and it's like a low area, a typical springbuck habitat, pretty wide open. And the only way to get close is we're having to like walk these dried up riverbeds and use kind of like that topography to hide ourselves. And we finally get set up on this springbuck. And this is like 5 or 6 hours into this hunt that day. And they're coming closer to us, coming closer. And it's like 300 yards and I shoot and I miss. And my PH goes, God damn it, Cable. We've been messing around with these springbucks for hours on end and you screwed up, you missed. Well, he didn't laugh and say, it's okay. But, we've been on 6 safaris together, so we had a pretty good rapport. So I wasn't offended. But, no, he let his frustration out, and we laugh about it.
That's how they'd say in Afrikaans, die kaksland die fan. The shit hit the fan.
Yeah. But hey, we still got him, but it took another couple hours. So, yeah. All's well that ends well. Meredith, you said you're really into fitness and taking care of yourself. As we're wrapping things up, give us like what is your favorite wild game to eat, and then what is one of your favorite preparations?
Favorite wild game to eat? I mean, honestly, I haven't eaten that much wild game, to be honest with you.
That's because you hunt with the longbow.
Yeah, probably. It's venison.
Never seen a fat
See, we're friends now. We can make fun of each other.
Hey, I get that in every podcast. It's totally normal.
Uh-huh.
No, I mean, I don't know. I love a good old venison meatloaf, man. That's
okay.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah. All right. And what about you, Nina?
Oh Lordy, I've had so many wild game. I'd
She
say,
hunts with a
well, and
rifle.
I do. Thank you very much. I would never hinder myself. If it's bow season, I'm using a crossbow. If it's muzzleloader season, I'm using a muzzleloader rifle. I'm
Uh,
using a rifle, by God. Either way. I tried. So I love axis moose, elk. I love a lot of
Moose is my
African
favorite.
game, eland. I love moose, but I tried. Well, seeking deer is also good, but this year I went to Oregon to black-tailed deer hunt, and I'm telling you that these black-tailed deer are probably like right up there with moose and axis deer for me.
Hmm. Okay. Nice. I have a hunt booked for next December in Alaska for blacktail. So
Ooh, the
yeah,
Sitka black-tailed deer.
yeah, Kodiak Island. So there should be a lot of brown
Okay.
bears. Not really excited about that, but yeah.
That's
This is not
actually terrifying.
yeah, and this isn't
We had a
a guide's gonna hold your hand. It's me and five of my buddies, or you sleep on a boat and then they
yeah,
drop you off. It's like DIY, but you have like at
we
least
did
a warm
we did
bed to sleep in, and yeah.
DIY Alaska, and there were plenty of brown bear tracks, and we actually put up a little game camera that we went back to check. And when we went to go check it, there had definitely been a brown bear on one of the moose.
Oh
And
wow.
immediately my pucker factor raised to 50. And then we put that camera up after we'd seen that sign, because the carcass was snapped in half. The
Hmm.
hide was just like buried. There's a giant mountain. I'm like, oh my.
Yeah.
So we put a camera up, and it was a giant boar coming at night every night. But who knows when, like, if he
Yeah. You
was
don't know
there
when he's gonna
just
be
before
there.
I got there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was terrified.
All right. So
Good
Meredith,
luck.
what is? Oh, thank you. What is your goal with your social media outlets?
My goal?
Yeah, like what are you doing this full time, or do you still have a day job? Like what is
I'm a
your
full
goal?
time I'm a full time physical therapist.
Okay.
So that's my actual career. Um, Honestly, my social media has just kind of grown organically. I haven't really done anything other than just kind of post what I'm doing.
Mm,
So it's been pretty cool. I would like to start doing, a little more self-filming type of stuff, just maybe YouTube, something simple. But, I'm really just kind of walking through the doors that open and just kind of believe that God has a plan, and I'm just gonna see what it may be for me. Until then, I'm gonna do what I love and see where it takes me.
mm. Right on. Right on.
You're
And
doing
Nina,
great.
and what about you, Nina? A little different because you're an
Me,
outfitter.
yes, definitely. Well, I was in the military for 5 years after I got out of the Air Force Academy. I got out, didn't really like the way the world was turning at that point, and got super political and interesting, and people didn't know if they were men or women, and I just got out.
I think we're probably all pretty politically aligned here. Like
We
that's
are, yes.
yeah.
Definitely. All three of us, I can say for a fact without
Yeah.
even asking that we are. So I just didn't like the way that the direction it was going. And I was like, I don't know if I can do 15 more years of this stuff. So I
Mhm.
gotten into the guiding, outfitting stuff, where I've been hunting and fishing pretty much every day. I'm still a booking agent for like worldwide hunts and stuff like that. I think I'm gonna start doing a little bit more social media stuff, because I'm kind of getting out of the outfit that I was working with, and so now I'm trying to find a different stream of income. So um, I'll be posting more and working more on my sponsorships, which is something that I had been doing heavily prior to it, but I just didn't have any time when you're getting up at dark and then going to bed at dark. So I think that um, I would like to help Meredith with her social media, and maybe we can find some people to sponsor us to go on hunts. Meredith, myself, and Chelsea, because our dynamic is just unlike no other I'd seen before. And I think that we're really, really strong and powerful as women in the outdoors. And I think that we could all use our pages to help in the fight for conservation and to get more women to feel confident enough to go outdoors, especially
Hmm.
children as well. And we also do things with Veteran Sportsman Alliance. My dad is the Tennessee chapter president, so women, children, men, even if you're a new hunter, especially. We love to host events like that, where we fully outfit veterans as well for, giving them a reason to live again, especially the disabled veterans.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I'll tell you this. As a fella who is in the hunting industry, I've seen a lot of gals that I don't respect because, yeah, they like to hunt, but every third picture is them in a bikini or, not really like authentic. And that's not why the majority of guys are following your page, but the actual guys out there that are following female hunters is because they're authentic. They're, they don't mind. It's like Meredith said, sleeping on the ground for 2 weeks, in pursuit of an
Real
elk.
recognizes real.
Yeah. And there's a lot of failures that come along with being authentic, So, yeah. Well, I appreciate you both. Where can folks find in this Field and Stream? This is the new outlet for Field and Stream, right? Ever since we've got new ownership, right? Some highfalutin guys bought Field and Stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a new outlet there, and folks can find that. Just is it on YouTube or?
Yeah, you can find the videos on the YouTube. I think they have their own channels and avenues where they also post their videos, but the biggest and easiest one to go view any of their videos will be on the Field and Stream YouTube. So people can watch the Georgia turkey hunt from there. And then when the Father's Day bit from Oklahoma comes out, then they can watch that there as well.
Awesome. And give us each of your social media outlets.
Meredith?
So I've got Instagram, Facebook, and those are both Meredith Powroznik. I think Instagram is Meredith_Powroznik. Facebook.
You're gonna have to spell your name. You're gonna have to spell
POWROZNIK is my last name. Now I have a TikTok, but it's MerePow1108. I don't really use it too much, but I also have a YouTube channel as well, Meredith Powroznik. So yeah,
So there's a professional bass angler that has your last name.
Yeah, it's my cousin.
I figured. Yeah. I was like, because most people don't know that name, but I was like, but.
Most people recognize the name, they watch Bassmaster Classic, all that stuff. Yeah, yep, that's a cousin of mine. So yeah, we're all related. A bunch of Polacks here in Prince George County, Virginia.
And Nina, what about you?
All right, I have everything. Not everything. I'll say that, but I have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, Pinterest, all the things. If you go to social media thing and you look me up, it's usually at Nina Outdoors _, and that is NINAOUTDOORS _, or just Nina Outdoors on YouTube and Facebook.
Right on. Well, ladies, I've enjoyed it. Thanks for the time today. I appreciate it, and I look forward to catching up with you somewhere on down the road, whether that's turkey camp. Maybe Jason will invite. Maybe there'll be guys at one. I don't know about
elk camp.
Elk camp, whatever it is.
Great.
NWTF show, whatever. I look forward to meeting you guys in person. Enjoyed the conversation, and have a good one.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.